Welcome to the SuperHero Sanctum, an offshoot of the PCVG in which Tetris and Waha try to pitch each other superheroes.
Each episode will be at least 10 minutes long, but each superpower may last several episodes, so stay tuned and enjoy the SuperHero Sanctum. And welcome back to another week of the PCVG presents the SuperHero Sanctum. I, once again, speaking in my super elegant and sexy, charismatic voice, is the ever succulent Tetris.
And I'm here too.
That's Waha. There, kitties and folks and fuckerinos and kitty fuckerinos. This week, what?
Why'd you have to involve the kitty fuckerinos on my introduction?
Well, okay. You can take credit for it if you'd like, pedophile. There, file.
Yes. I mean, no.
No, but you remember 2032. If you don't get that joke, you're gonna have to
look at the
turn
rest of
into
our
the
videos.
PCVG. Yep.
Look at all the rest of our videos.
Anyways,
kill your parents.
Oh, that's this video, but we'll reference it later, so remember that. This week I'm introducing Molecule Man to Waha. Molecule Man. He is a fractured stated superhero who is made up of molecule-sized versions of himself in essence, what could either be described as self-aware particles or nanomachines. Little is known. What he can do is manipulate molecules at their very base structure because of this. Unfortunately, also because of this, he has a fractured mental state, often deviating between each level of the cellular and the microcellular levels, which makes no sense, but that's the idea.
No, it does. It's a matter of.
I just think that it could have been worded better. But no, it's the idea that because he can manipulate cells, it's hard for him to not just start screaming out, "Oh my god, we got incoming oxygen! Divert it off the port valve!" while, being a huge human being at the same time. Which also makes him ungodly, powerful in other circumstances. He's in essence the wild card. As long as he can focus, he can fix any problem, in essence.
Hell, I'm sure because of being able to adjust molecules on a base level, he can easily heal and destroy and create just out of thin air.
Yep. He can also, he's the ultimate for moving between worlds.
Like sweet science-y magic. Actually, what would his power be considered? Mostly probably psychic science-y.
Yeah, either super evolved or a go science. Because the nanomachines thing is how I picture it, but it could just be that each of his particles are actually aware of their own existence while still being a human being, which is exclusively unique to him.
Sounds like a good idea. I mean, other than for him being that aware.
Oh yeah, no, he wouldn't have a social life. He would always be that being. I don't think he would eat or sleep. He wouldn't need to.
He would just absorb.
Yeah, he wouldn't even need to absorb. He would be a perfect perpetual machine. He's kind of like in my version of things, he's the Watchmen's blue guy.
Dr. Manhattan.
Yep, he's our Manhattan. He's very disconnected from reality, but there's nothing else for him. He's kind of autistic in that way. He just has to try and help people.
Then that's exactly the perfect sort of character to allude to in the sense of his perception, because Dr. Manhattan has perception of past, future, and present. Well, this man would have perception of like on a grand scale and a small scale, and hell, maybe even on a larger, grander scale. Who knows what this guy sees in his head?
Yep. It would just be impossible to extract it from him.
Now, can he make himself smaller or bigger, or is he stuck human size but able to do things on a micro
He
level?
he could definitely make himself bigger. He would just rearrange his particles and stuff. It's getting him to focus on something like that. He could turn himself into lead and walk around and stuff, and fucking he could probably change all of the molecules and teach them how to behave in different forms, like in Cat's Cradle, where they have Ice 9, which teaches all of the water to have different molecular arrangement, which makes water have a lower or have a higher freezing point, which is just room temperature. So all water and liquid on Earth is taught how to do this because some water does it. It's a kind of a crystal theory. They extrapolate from that how crystal formations are formed and how a new formation will teach other crystals how to do that formation and molecules to follow the same structure, some sort of something like that.
Molecule training sounds like it might be a pain in the ass. I mean,
Oh, this is a
how do
very
you treat them?
convoluted single solution that we could only get away with one time. But
Oh,
that's what I'm
exactly.
saying. Like, he is really powerful in a lot of different, just bullshitty solutions like
I'm
that.
just imagining training it like a dog.
He's kind of
And
like a alchemist in a lot of senses. He can create anything out of thin air.
so, would this be positive reinforcement training or negative? Is he going to abuse these particles until they do what he wants? Just like backhands these molecules and like, "Pff, no, don't you urinate your uranium molecules all over the carpet. And teach
I just
radioactive particles to not be radioactive anymore."
I imagine it like as if you or me were to suddenly become like that without any programming or forethought before then, you know.
Oh, so yours would be very negative. Like,
Well,
there
not
would
even
be
negative.
very
I just think
broken.
that like he became the superpowered individual and all he knows this is his only way to connect to humanity. And it's these little glimpses he's getting where he's actually helping people and the rest of the time it's just chaotic front of different levels of not quite understanding, you know.
Yeah, what's going on? So he's been this way his entire life, which means as a child, yeah, so it pretty much he'd be like diagnosed autistic
Yeah,
as a
you'd
young
be
child
like
because he's just
disabled too.
looking off and doing and not even being able to comprehend what's going on around him until later on something happens and he figures it out. Like life, he figures out life.
Right, pretty much. He just
Yeah.
kind of figures out. Well, and like eventually he can come to terms with all these powers and just he can actually ascend into being a higher being, and that could be either a positive or a negative thing depending on the experiences we give him. Ah, you like that? Like I'm talking about it like it's something alive.
Oh, mentally disabled people aren't alive.
Oh
Whoa, hold
snaps!
on. Whoops. Did I say
That's
that
that
out
slip.
loud over the internet?
Oh man. Anyways, vote for Garrett, 2032. What?
2032. Waha for president.
For president. Anyways,
Yeah, I'd say, God, that's a, so what would really turn him on to actual life around him? Would it
like
be
what?
some
What
sort of
would be the
tragic
thing that
event?
would like
Are we going to kill his
tune him
parents?
in?
Can we kill his parents?
That would be something. Or and like he's kind of saved by a police officer,
Yeah,
maybe.
come on, we've gone
And
through
you know
like,
what? The police officer could turn out to work for ass.
oh yeah, so he could it'd be weird, and the healing idea would be perfect for it. But yeah, definitely. a good guy for
Oh, you
ass.
know what? The psychic could be the one that like is the one that saves him and is the one that is able to touch him and bring him. And like she doesn't even know that she helped him to the point where he became a superhero, but she helped him reconnect with
Yeah, it's got to be some sort of outside super help to bring something that ridiculous to the actual, world that matters.
Yep.
Not that
Because
the
like he could just have been
sub-molecular
fucking
world
off and
doesn't.
creating all this stuff on his own and not helping.
Oh yeah, just like kid playing with blocks instead of playing with them, he's creating them.
Well, he's playing with the playing blocks of creation.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a good idea for anyone who doesn't actually know what they're doing.
Yep. But this kid, it's a
He's
perfect
just
wild
like,
card. He's just like he fucking. And
look what
so
I
that's
made,
where
mommy,
his great
uranium.
nemesis comes into play, which is multiple man. Which have you been timing this?
Yes, we are about at that point where we can segue into a different episode. We will talk about his arch nemesis, Multiple Man.
Oh, he's a fucked up
Multiple
nemesis man.
Man. Yes,
Multiple man. He might be multiple
he's.
guy. It's there'll be some naming for it because I think Molecule Man might also hit some roadblocks. But
God, we should have Googled that shit before we started. How
no,
about
fuck
we.
all that. Because I
Well,
mean, we will change this up if we
yeah. Alright. Between episodes, guys, we're gonna look this up. Molecule Man might not be Molecule Man, and Multiple Man might still be Multiple Man, because I don't think anyone's taken that shit yet. Who knows? Fuck it. See you later.
have to. Well,